There are few things which make us happier than having kids. So, why are so many of us can't have kids? And are there some things that we can do to overcome infertility? Hey, fellow seekers, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yakub. I am a holistic practitioner in all the 14 dimensions of health and wellness. Today, we're going to talk about the second part of the epidemic of infertility, female infertility. As I have mentioned in the last video, WHO defines infertility as a disease of the reproductive health system characterized by the failure to achieve pregnancy after 12 months or more of regular unprotected sexual intercourse, and there is no other reason such as breastfeeding or the lack of menstruation. Male infertility is responsible for 20 to 30% of the cases, while 20 to 35% of the cases are due to female infertility, and 25 to 40% are due to combined problems with both, while the remaining 10 to 20% have no causes. The rates are increasing in sub-Saharan Africa. Infertility in women often leads to cultural and social stigma alongside depression and poor self-esteem. Marital disputes, domestic abuse, infertility, and polygamy, especially in cultures which normalized it, can be the consequences for an infertile woman. Women, unlike men, have a designated period for being fertile. So age is definitely a factor. A woman's fertility peaks in the early and mid-20s, after which it starts to decline, with this decline being accelerated after the age of 35. The chances of a couple to successfully conceive at an advanced age depends on many factors, including the general health of the woman and the fertility of the male partner. There are women who go through early menopause due to unknown factors, possibly genetical. These are called premature ovarian failure. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, has become a leading cause of female infertility. Up to 10% of women have this condition. From the word polycystic, there are a lot of cysts in the ovaries of those women. They appear like a chain of pearls on ultrasound scan. It presents with irregular menstrual periods, heavy periods, excess hair, hair loss, which is sort of follows the male partner of baldness, acne, pelvic pain, and skin patches. Obesity, specifically abdominal obesity, is one of the risk factors for getting this condition due to insulin hormone insensitivity, which is what happens in diabetes. That leads to overproduction of insulin, resulting in high levels of the male hormones, testosterone, in the body. Testosterone stops the natural menstrual cycle and leading to infertility. The cysts are immature eggs who are arrested from developing to fertile eggs for reproduction, but kept on growing. It has some genetic aspect, and exposure to chemicals while in uterus are linked to PCOS. Adhesion, which are fibrous bands in the pelvis, also leads to infertility. Adhesions can be a consequence of sexually transmitted infections, specifically the one which is called pelvic inflammatory disease. Also endometriosis, meaning the lining of the endometrium or the lining of the uterus appears in the other parts of the body, and surgeries like for abortion and the ones for removing fibroids, which are tumors of the muscles in the uterus. Fibroid stem cells can often lead to infertility due to them reducing the spaces of the uterus. Tobacco smoking is harmful to the ovaries, and the degree of damage is dependent upon the amount and the length of time for where a woman has smoked or the exposure to a smoke-filled environment. Nicotine and other harmful chemicals in the cigarettes interfere with the body's ability to create estrogen, which is responsible for reproduction. Stress interferes with fertility because the body can only get pregnant when it confirms the habitability for a fetus. Any extreme and persistent stresses can endanger pregnancy and leads to miscarriage or can make the uterus hostile to any fertilization. Genetical conditions leading to infertility are Mayer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser syndrome, whereby the woman has no uterus. There's also Turner syndrome, 45X, where one part of the sex chromosome is missing, 46XX. So the person only has 45X. There's also intersex conditions where the genitals are ambiguous, where the person cannot easily be identified as a woman or a man. Anti-sperm antibodies, defense cells made by the female body against the sperm cells, hence impairing fertilization. It has been linked with unorthodox sexual activities. Environmental chemicals like external estrogen found in cosmetic products and skincare, and others which disrupt the hormonal system of the body, can often lead to infertility and even cancers to women. As aforementioned in the other video, there are multiple procedures which can assist with reproduction, like in vitro fertilization, IVF. However, it's both expensive and does not guarantee success in getting pregnancy. What are some things that you can do to prevent infertility or even sometimes overcome it? Having a healthy weight through fasting and exercising, it is the only prevention and treatment for PCOS. Reducing stress through sleep and meditation, having a support from your spouse and family, avoiding lifestyles which predispose you to adhesions, we've talked about STIs and even abortions. Caution from chemicals which can harm you and your children, the fetus, when you are pregnant. Not smoking tobacco and reducing alcohol intake. Preferably having children before the age of 35, and getting early treatment for fibroids and endometriosis. So if you have one problem currently with your health, work, education, finances, relationships, parenthood, or life in general, if yes, please feel free to talk to us in an effort to find a solution based on our expertise and experience in counseling and coaching together. Book a free 30-minute consultation by clicking on the link below. Thank you.